You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Heat fan? Welcome to your Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, and another tough one tonight at home for Miami. They lose for the second straight game, 121-115 in overtime to the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis was sensational. Porter Jr., incredible. No Dame Dollar, make you holler. Didn't matter for the Bucks. Meanwhile, no Tyler, no Wiggy, can't you see? Sometimes your play just hypnotizes me for the Heat. So no Tyler, no Wiggins. And yeah, just a tough one for Miami. And they've been finding ways to play. And they had the 10-game L streak and the 6-game win streak. But now they've lost 2 in a row. Ja Morant hits the buzzer beater, and then the Bucks. And this is 2 games in a row where you're seeing a little bit of a trend like you saw in the beginning of the last losing streak. So Spo tonight in the postgame said, hey, look, this is not what it was when we were losing 10 in a row. And I'm sitting there going, really? Because this is looking exactly like the beginning of the previous losing streak. Seems like coach speak to me a little bit there in the beginning. But with no Tyler, with no Wiggins, just a tremendous job by Alec Burks. A great game for Bam Adebayo. And, you know, they blow a 7-point lead down the stretch. And then in overtime, they just get trashed, outscored by 6. Duncan Robinson misses a shot, then travels. Bam shot a contested turnaround on a previous possession. It just didn't go their way. But a great effort by the Miami Heat. As always, a fantastic game. They shot well. They defended well. They took care of the ball better than they usually do. And it just didn't work out their way tonight. And, you know, you're playing good teams, by the way. Milwaukee is the 5 seed in the East ahead of Detroit. Difference for them is 5 seed, you play Indiana, who you've beaten 3 times this year. 6 seed, you play the Knicks, who have owned you. So that was a big win for Milwaukee, and that was one of their biggest games of the season. And they played that game with a Game 7 intensity, and so did Miami. And when you have 2 teams like that playing a game of that level of intensity in the NBA down the stretch like the way it is right now, that is must-see TV. You cannot take your eyes off of the television when a game like tonight was going on. A great job by the Miami Heat. All right, first things first, I used to freak all the honeys. Now I'm in love. But no, I'm kidding. So here we go. First things first, I'm going to tell you that I thank you for being here first. And I didn't freak anybody. Who am I kidding? Better be careful. Puff's going, bro, stop. So anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that. But a lot of his white-offs or white parties or whatever they were, never mind. They were in Miami. I blew the whole thing. But anyway, hopefully no Heat players were there from the past that are going to come out in those papers. I don't know, or Dolphins or whatever. I thought about that a couple times, like, yo, what if, like, I'm not going to say any names because that would be not even cool to throw someone's name into something like that, just being a fool, trying to be cool and get ratings. That's been in the news a lot this week. A couple of my colleagues at ESPN, Stephen A. Smith and Pat McAfee, you might have heard of them. Isn't it great when I can call them colleagues? Like, hey, Stephen A. McAfee, me, colleagues nonetheless. It's true. You can find me on ESPN. So, and you can find them there. But they were going back and forth about, you know, some things this week that happened on the McAfee show. And, you know, one of those things where a girl was on there and they had joked about her sleeping with a father or something. And, you know, you can cross the line when you're trying to get ratings and you're trying to be funny and you're trying to do this thing. And you never mean to. You have the best of intentions. You're just trying to be funny. You're just trying to be the cool guy. And, yeah, man, I wouldn't want anybody going back and listening to my old tapes from my 20s. I can tell you that. Back when you used to think you had to be confrontational and yell at everybody, shut up, Tim in Miami. You don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, the Heat with one of those great victories tonight. Great efforts in a loss tonight. Tremendous effort for Miami, and it just didn't work out. They came up short on that one. Tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins with FanDuel right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your Heat every day. Can you feel the heat down in your soul? I'm literally hanging by a thread. I was in Vegas for like literally 36 hours and probably slept 4 of them. And I did 4 shows. I'm like working the whole time, not drinking, not partying, not gambling, not nothing, not even eating. I didn't eat for like 30 hours. It's a fast. I'm going to make 36. I'm going to. And my cells are going to eat each other alive, and they're going to get rid of all the, the bad cells. And I'm just, anyway, check it out. You should do it. And so for the Miami Heat tonight, first of all, I didn't finish my first things first because I got carried away with the joke. And that is, thank you for making us your first watch, your first listen every day. We're free on YouTube right here. We're free on OTT. Yeah, you know me, this whole party on Roku, and then wherever you get your podcast. That means Apple Podcasts. That means iHeart. That means Stitcher, Podbean. And what's the other one? Oh, yeah, Spotify. Did you see Logan Paul looking at Dana White and telling him he's the number one podcast in the world after Dana White said it's Rogan? I mean, it was literally just the stare down between the two of them. And Logan's got those puppy dog eyes, and Dana's like, it's kind of funny. But it's a different world we live in. It's a different world. Hey, then where you come from. Look at this right now. I'm dropping everything in here today. Hip-hop, top 40, no country, but TV shows, a little bit of everything. Like soundtracks might come into the show. You never know. I might drop a Quincy Jones or something in here. But I will say this, okay? Miami Heat played with tremendous effort and intensity tonight, and the Milwaukee Bucks did too. This was a game 7, man. I love the NBA this time of year. I think the play-ins are freaking brilliant, where 7 and 8 play each other, 9 and 10 play each other. The winner of 7-8 goes in right away. The loser plays the winner of 9-10, and the loser of 9-10 goes home. Because let's face it, if you ultimately finish in 10th place, there is no way you should ever make the playoffs. I'm sorry, all you proponents of these participation trophies that have ruined America over the last 20 years. True story, I coached Little League in Fort Lauderdale when my 22-year-old son Jake was like 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. And his teammates were Miguel Tejada Jr. and Scottie Pippen, his kid, Scottie Pippen Jr. So Scottie Pippen's sitting behind watching me, yo, coach. Scotty's a cool dude, right? Really cool dude. I got some good pictures with him and stuff like that, sitting back there. And everybody moves to South Florida when they're done anyway, basketball-wise, for the most part. But and Miguel Tejada Jr. And those guys loved me. And here's the reason why. Because I made our kids do push-ups, sit-ups, calisthenics, bear crawls, crab walks. Their muscles are all popping. Some parents are going, they're 6 years old. And I'm going, yeah, and they're not going to grow up to be like you, under my breath. So anyway, and that's what you do when you're a good coach. You undo the damage that parents do, because parents do so much good. But when you're a great coach, you can reach people on a level where you can not only bring out a better side of them in their athletic endeavor, but you can do it as a person. And that's what I love about Spo. In that press conference, he goes, hey, I just told the guys, I don't want them to keep their heads down. They need to be able to do, and I'm paraphrasing, differentiate between what was happening before and what's happening now, because these guys have worked their butts off to get back. And they have, and they've had Jimmy and all his petulance and his whining and everything he did to sink this franchise this year with the Don, Pat Riley, not backing down. Death taxes Pat Riley, right? Not backing down. Gets Wiggins, and then Wiggins almost, I think he's missed more games than he's played now with the Heat. It's real close. Tyler's been out a couple of times lately. Bam had a real nice run offensively, fell off a cliff, and now he's performing again. It's been a marathon. It's an 82-game season. Oh, they make millions. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can still play an 82-game season like that. The back-to-backs, the hardwood floor, what it does to your joints. They have a team of medical people and massage therapists and everything else to take care of them, and it's still tough. All right, Giannis, 36 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists. He's the leader in the NBA in points in the paint. Bucks crushed the Heat in points in the paint. We're going to look at the numbers in a moment, both the stat sheets and the team numbers as well. Kevin Porter Jr. killed the Heat, 24 points off the bench. Giannis hit a big shot down the stretch. Porter Jr. with an amazing take. He split a double team where there was about this much daylight, somehow gets the ball through at about the free throw line, goes to the rack and spins and contorts his body in midair, gets the shot off over Bam and gets it to hit. One of the greatest takes you'll ever see on an NBA court. There's almost nothing better in the NBA. And this is what we're missing so much these days with all this chuck and duck with the threes. Thank you, Celtics. I'll rip the Celtics any chance I get. And I know I'm in good company with that, right? And while you're here, hit that subscribe button, smash that bell so you get the alert when you're coming your way with more content here on Heat Postcast, because we're on after every game. And Miami's a lock for the play-in. They're more than likely, they're probably going to have to win every game just to be the 9. So 9-10 doesn't matter. You'd almost prefer they're on the road. Why the hell would you want to be the 9? Straight up. I'll ask Spo. That would be my first question in the press conference. Everybody else is, oh, tell me, it's another tough one. No, yeah, you could ask, that's generic. You could ask that question every game if you want to. No, that would be my question, and I think that that's a valid question. I think it's a very valid question. And, they played so hard, they ran out of gas down the stretch. Bam had a huge night with 12 rebounds, 5 assists for Miami. No Tyler Hero, which was, that's a big thing. The right thigh, an issue for Tyler. Issue. I kind of like that instead of injury or issue. You combine the words, and I create my own English language that only I understand, and then I teach you, and you, no, never mind. But that would be great, right? And Wiggins has the hamstring. Kevin Love misses a lot of games with personal reasons. We all have personal reasons, but K-Love will be there in the playoffs. And shout out to Kevin Love for being a funny guy and a great teammate and really the UD on this team, but I think a better player, and without a doubt a better player career-wise. No diss to UD, but K-Love, man, the crippling battle that he's faced with depression and anxiety in his life as a professional athlete, and as open as he's been about that, as compassionate and empathetic and caring as he's been about that, he's been just the opposite to some of his teammates on the humor side on social media. But I really love the way that he has, and pun fully intended, I love the way Love has done that, because there are a lot of kids out there looking at these guys and going, wow, man, Kevin Love feels that way like I do. I can identify with that. He's got millions. He lives on the water. He's got a beautiful family, huge NBA career. And look, man, you just never, ever know what's going on inside someone's mind or someone's body. So you have to have compassion and empathy. And a lot of the things we've been missing in the human race over the past few years with some of the people who have been in charge on both sides and the people who fight on their behalf with each other and all that nonsense. That's why I've always loved being in sports. It's the toy department of life. And you don't have to worry about any of that stuff unless some over-the-hill bald guy wants to be cool and keeps bringing it into the show every day. Anyway, I don't know who that would be. Do you? This is Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. We got a lot to do, so we best to get to it. I got a lot of living to do, and I ain't got time to waste. Who's that? Who's it? Ready? Say you a gangster, but you never. 50 Cent, come on. I'm dropping it all in here tonight. They all go to the Heat games. Anyway, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. What a great game they played tonight. The effort, the intensity of a Game 7. I've been in that building and the old Miami Arena so many times for some of the biggest playoff games in Heat history. That game tonight had that feel. Giannis just rose above, man. Porter was a big part of it, but Giannis rose above. The Heat don't have a Giannis. Tyler was playing like that the other night, but he didn't down the stretch, and Ja Morant did. And tonight it was Giannis and Porter Jr., but mainly Giannis. So the Heat do not have that dude. I've been saying it all year. Jimmy Butler at times was that dude, and that's why they went to the finals in 2020 and 2023, because Jimmy Z. Butler, who I hope gets served up so many L's. You got to go see that cartoon on TikTok, by the way, if TikTok's still here in a week or so. Man, politics, TikTok, who knows what you're going to get here. But I need to get to a break before I get myself broken. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team. Every day we are going to have team stats, box score, player of the game, you name it, coming your way. Turning point, final score graphic, and get you ready for the next game on Monday. It'll be all right against the Sixers, who aren't they not an NBA team anymore this year? It's Grease. It's Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And I am here to tell you about my friends. And right now, oh my Lord, what would I be doing without 5-Hour Energy? If I didn't have 5-Hour Energy coursing through my veins right now, ravaging all those tired cells, you would not have a Heat Postcast today. Daylight savings has snuck up on us again, or in my case, Vegas. And if you're feeling that lost hour of sleep or 20, 5-Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need a little boost to power through. Sometimes I get a good feeling. Whether you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in a round of golf after work, or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5-Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. Basketball madness. This time of year, you're always bleary-eyed. I've been to Vegas twice during the tournament this year, and only once was I actually able to go into the sports book and enjoy it the first week, which is the best week of the year in Vegas or anywhere for basketball. I've been staying up late watching all the tournament action. 5-Hour Energy helps keep me up the next day. Extra daylight, extra activities. You got to go for a hike, go for a run, go for a swim. Tropical bursts give you the quick boost, eh? And it probably goes good with rum. Just saying. On-the-go convenience. Whether I'm at a game or traveling, 5-Hour Energy is easy to grab and keeps me feeling refreshed. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raz, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Grab a 5-Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized with 5-Hour Energy on the Locked On Podcast Network. And, of course, with my lady sitting right here, don't get any ideas. Spring is here, and that means it's home project season. No, it's not for you. Whether you're refreshing a room or tackling a full renovation, Wayfair is the best kept secret for all things home improvement, and I am not kidding, man. Wayfair has changed my life. I didn't know you could get all these things in one place like you can at Wayfair for the prices you can get them for and have your home. I always wondered where all those like top story condos got all that beautiful furniture and patio furniture, and You know what I'm saying? Yeah, from small updates like stylish cabinet hardware to major upgrades like new vanities, sinks, or outdoor lighting, Wayfair has quality projects and products for every budget. I just upgraded my kitchen and bathroom and living space. It says to choose one. We did all three with Wayfair, and the selection was incredible. Their free and fast shipping made it so easy. It's so easy when everybody's trying to please me, baby. No hauling heavy items, and that for me makes me want to sing, even though I'm no Axl Rose by any means, right? But no hauling heavy items from the store, like when my kids were little and I'd go to Home Depot and I go, oh, nope, not with Wayfair. I love that they have top brands like GE and Moen at great prices. GE appliances, Moen faucets, you know what I mean? Shopping and more than faucets, but the Moen faucets are phenomenal. Shopping was seamless, and I found exactly what I needed to fit my space and my style. Wayfair makes every home improvement project easy. Get started now at wayfair.com. That's Wayfair, like as in it's way fair to shop Wayfair. I think I just got that. Man, oh man, I'm brilliant. They don't call me Sonny for nothing. Wayfair, every style, every home. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And I meant to say I'm so bright, they call me Sonny, but Vegas be like, you know what I'm saying? Vegas be like, Vegas be like, Running a small business means you're wearing a lot of hats, or like I did when I was younger and now I'm paying the price. Don't wear hats all the time. You'll be bald. I don't care. Yeah, it means you're wearing a lot of hats and you're losing your hair anyway when you're running a business. So what's the difference? Your personal phone becomes your business phone, and before you know it, you're juggling customer calls every day and night, and as your team grows, it becomes impossible to manage everything with just your personal number. That's where OpenPhone comes in. It's the #1 business phone system designed to help you keep your work and personal life separate. Put away the bad phone. For just $15 a month, you don't need two anymore. The cost of a few coffees, you get complete transparency and visibility into everything happening with your business phone number. OpenPhone works through an app on your phone or computer and integrates with tools like HubSpot and hundreds of others. It also uses AI-powered call transcripts and summaries, so you will have a rundown of your calls and action items the second you hang up the phone. And if you miss a call, no problemo. Automated message. Say it again, Jim. Automated messages are sent directly to your customer, ensuring you never miss an opportunity to engage. And that's the key for any business owner is engage, baby, and always be closing. And right now, OpenPhone is offering 20% off your first 6 months when you go to openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. That's openphone.com/LockedOnNBA, openphone.com/LockedOnNBA for 20% off 6 months. openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. Dun, 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 dun. There you have it. That was fun, wasn't it? Please give me 74 more spots to do. I love it. I mean, but look, here's the thing about these spots, right? You're looking at it all wrong when you think, oh, there's a commercial. Damn, I don't want to hear. And I understand the show's so compelling and the content is so good. You're like, no, Grease, no more commercials. Just talk Heat basketball. I'm there like this. But seriously, these are great companies, and I'm, of course, being funny, but these are amazing companies, and the deals they're giving you through Locked On. And the reason it works this way, we have over 200 shows with Locked On. And so because of that, you spread the wealth as an aggregator, really, throughout the community. And each show is separate from one another. They don't really have anything to do with each other except the format, the name, and all that. And we have different things that we've started, like the regular, the team shows and the league shows, and, of course, now the postcasts and LockedOnDaily.com, the newsletter, one stop for Ultimate Heat and NBA coverage delivered right to your inbox. You get it free at LockedOnDaily.com. It's the Heat, Locked On Heat newsletter. You start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter, and you will not be sorry. I mean, and look at the guys with the Heat podcast, the Locked On Heat podcast, myself with the postcast. You want to make sure you're here every day. And look, the Heat in the 10 spot, I think, is better than the Heat in the 9 spot because you don't have home court. They're better on the road, man. Some teams are just better on the road. The home cooking gets to them. Maybe you live in Miami, right? And when you're home, here's the thing, right? When you're on the road, you just bond. You're just playing ball. And some of these guys have lives. And then when you go, like when Steph Curry goes to New York or LA, he's probably making a couple million just coming through. You know, all these years covering the UFC, I always marvel at how Joe Rogan can go into Vegas, host away and do 2 comedy shows on a Friday night, call the fights on Saturday, do one more comedy set late Saturday night, and leave Vegas with like $6 million. I mean, think about that for 1 second, right? And that's kind of what's going on there. But just want to remind you, tonight's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets when their first $5 bet wins. And we have got to get things moving on the show here and get on out of here. Sometimes I get carried away. And yeah, I know, but it is what it is right now with the Heat. And just a great, great game. So let's get to it.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Kyle, 31 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists for Miami, a season-high 24 points. Shout out Alec Burks, my man. You know, when you get your opportunity in life, there's not many times that you get that shot. Like, NBA players could get it almost every day, but you have a job. You're at an office, right? You have people above you, some superstars, some average players, some are just consistent and they get the job done. They show up every day, and you're looking for your opportunity, any chance you can get it. Well, when you get a chance, and I used to do this, I'd fill in for guys like Jeff DeForest, Jim Mandich, you know, just tremendous, huge names and personalities. And even on ESPN radio with some of the guys I've worked with there, and girl like Zaslow and them, you know, you're sitting there, Ken Levicka, and you're like, you know, we all are in that same boat. Zaz is a little higher above us. So when a guy like Zaz, I got to work with him a bunch of times last summer, and it's like you get your chance and you seize that moment. As my good friend always tells me, play your way on the field, but don't play your way off. Well, they're not always going to have you on the field. Everybody's got a role, but when you get a chance, you do what it takes to get the job done and help your team win, and that's what Alec Burks did tonight. And Davion Mitchell and Kyle Anderson have been phenomenal. I stand here, and I'm sitting, but I stand corrected, because what I used to say early on in the Kyle Anderson era with the Miami Heat was not really all that good, and he didn't play all that well in the beginning, but he's been amazing lately, and Davion Mitchell's oh my God, he's going to be a killer. You give him 2 years in this system, he might make the All-Star team. You think I'm BSing you. You give him, I'm not kidding. I am absolutely 100% not kidding when I say that. All right, make sure you hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and come on in to the chat. Miami's 35-43, half game behind Chicago for the number 9 spot in the East. I already told you the numbers. Bam with a big night, 31 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Alec Burks, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 16 points for Duncan Robinson. Missed a 3 and traveled, though, on consecutive possessions late in the overtime. They blew a 7-point lead. They fouled a 3-point shooter late. So I know the players are just hurting right now, because the way that they lost that 7-point lead and then the way that they got worked in overtime, you can just see it coming, right? The weekend, I feel it coming. I feel it coming, baby. But 36 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists for the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I love this dude so much. He's the number 1 scorer in the paint in the NBA. In my mind, he's the MVP. Jokic has absurd numbers. SGA, I feel like it's his year. But Giannis is right there, man. And he was a superhuman player doing superhuman things down the stretch and into the overtime tonight. And when that happens, and then you got a guy like Porter coming off the bench with that vicious mindset of just a pack of pit bulls, man, attacking the rim. 24 points, 12 rebounds for him. By the way, how many? Giannis has like 15 triple-doubles this year, and he has a 36-point, 15 rebound, 10 assists. 10 assists. This league is so much better than it's ever been, and the talent is so much better. And people are talking about you can't compare eras, and Steve Kerr's talking about Jokic versus Kareem. And I could go on forever, but I won't, because I'm going to get in trouble here if I don't stop the show. Mitchell, 20 points, 5 assists, 12 for Anderson tonight. They were fantastic. It just was not to be. Team stats, Miami shot the ball better, or shot the 3 better than Milwaukee. It wasn't well, they made 15 threes to Milwaukee's 8. I'll say that the percentage is a little more in the Bucks' favor. Shooting-wise, Milwaukee shot 51.7%. They get so many looks at the rim, and that's Giannis. That's what Giannis does for a team. And a lot of the other makes are open jumpers, because Giannis draws everyone into the paint with him, and then he can throw it to whoever he wants, to a cutter for a bucket or to a shooter for a 3. And Giannis is one of the best in the league, if not the best, at that exact thing as a big man, taking that ball from the wing and then distributing it to his teammates. There's certainly 2s and 3s that are adept at that, and some of the best in the world. But Giannis is right there with him at his pterodactyl size. Remember how skinny he was when he came in too? Absolutely crazy. Points in the paint, 66 Milwaukee, 46 for Miami, and largest lead, 7 for the Bucks, 10 for the Heat. Miami was favored by a half a point, but again, there was no Tyler Hero tonight, and that made a big difference. All right, 2 quick things, then we're out.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And there it is. 7-point lead late in the fourth quarter is blown. But was it blown more than the Bucks took it? I'd say so, because they fouled a shooter on a 3. But that's an effort foul. You got to be a little smarter. It's an extra effort foul. And, sometimes it just happens like that. Sometimes it bees like that. And, you just got to do it. You just got to go through it. So there you have it right there. That was the moment that led to this, really. And it was overtime. The Heat outscored by 6 in OT. That was Giannis and Porter. 121-115. The final, there's Giannis. Look at that wingspan. Pterodactyl, which begins with a P, by the way. See, I'm giving spelling lessons, too. This is that degree right there. Bang, the U. That's the University of Miami degree right there for me. And one more thing before we go. This is the time to remember.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
We always do 3. First things first, we're going to, I hate to do this. His take late in the game, I believe it was on this play. He splits a double team at the foul line by dribbling it right between the two guys who literally banged legs together. One guy's left leg, the other guy's right leg. I forget who the two players were on the perimeter for Miami. Mitchell, I believe, was one of them. But he splits the double team, somehow gets the ball through, almost loses the handle, scoops it back up, spins, turns, contorts his body, and makes one of the most beautiful, most difficult layups you'll ever seen. And he, of course, had a big night tonight, too, with a monstrous performance, and that is the one, the only Kevin Porter Jr. with no Dame Lillard for 9 games now. He's been stepping up in the playoff race, and their number 5 seed could be a 4. 24-12 for Porter. He's one of the stars of the game. And here's one for your Miami Heat. How about bam, 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 playing like Bam Bam Rubble again, throwing dudes around. And, just looking like that, man. And Bam Adebayo with 31 points, 12 rebounds, 11 of 25 shooting, 3 threes, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, a ton of leadership. Just a fantastic game by Bam. Deflections, tie-ups, box outs. Just Bam Adebayo was a monster tonight against Giannis. And I think it's really dope. Obviously, Bam's an Olympian, but when you think about Giannis and how great he is, and for Bam to go toe-to-toe with him the way that he did tonight, that was really inspiring, guys. And I really got to get out of here. The clock got a little carried away here, but one more star and then we're done, and that is Giannis. He doesn't even need a last name. He's one of those guys now. It's like MJ, LeBron, Joker, SGA just needs his initials, and there is Giannis Antetokounmpo. What a game for the Greek Freak, man. 36, 15, and 10, and he's one of the top 3 players in the world, obviously. So when you're that, you're going to perform like that. And he, in my opinion, Giannis just took this game tonight. Giannis took this game. He willed and played his team to the victory tonight. So want to say before I go, thank you so much for being here. Heat POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, Gries, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Give us a follow, hit that bell so you'll get alerts when we come your way with more content. And keep watching Heat POSTCAST. We'll be here Monday. Hopefully they get the win against Philly. 9 or 10, doesn't matter. They're going to have to win twice to get in the playoffs anyway and be one of those 6. So, hey, might as well take the long way. Might as well be the road team. When have I seen that before from the Miami Heat? Always. Yeah, that's what you get when you're tough and you're locked in and you're just such a great road team. But the distractions of home can be too much. They blow a 7-point lead late in the fourth quarter. They get outscored by 6 in overtime, 121-115. The Milwaukee Bucks with the win over Miami. No Hero, no Wiggins for Miami, no Lillard for the Bucks. But Giannis, Bam, and Porter were superstars tonight for these two teams. And again, I'll be back on Monday after the Sixers game. No Embiid, no Maxey, no Paul George, I don't think. And so, yeah, one of those things where they're playing out the string, and the Heat are going to have to make sure that they remind them of that on Monday. Come Monday, it'll be all right. Thank you so much for making us your first watch or listen every day. We're free on YouTube. We're free wherever you get your audio podcasts, and we're free. OTT, yeah, you know me, this whole party on Roku. So pumped for that. And then on Monday, of course, we'll be here after the game. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, 121-115. The final, the Heat lose again, 2 in a row at home to 2 very good playoff teams. But nonetheless, these are important games, and they dropped them. We'll talk to you Monday, Heat Nation. Keep your game tight and your mind right, baby. We're out.